welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something really fascinating. We're looking at an ancient text that, crazy enough, is basically a mirror for all our modern anxieties. We're going to unpack a specific verse and its commentary from a classic text known as the Srimad Bhagavatam, specifically Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 10. And honestly, the way these ancient thinkers diagnosed the human condition, thousands of years before smartphones and doom scrolling were even a thing, it's going to completely shift your perspective. Let's just jump right in with this pretty dramatic prophecy. A group of ancient thinkers, the sages of Naimisharanya, diagnosed the state of affairs for people living in the current era. They foresee an era where people almost always have short lives, where we're quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and, above all else, always disturbed. It's a heavy, uncompromising assessment right out of the gate. So, the immediate question this forces us to ask ourselves is, does this sound suspiciously like our modern world? We are talking about a text written ages ago, but when you hear words like quarrelsome, misguided, and always disturbed, well, think about our fast-paced lives. Think about the constant distractions and the endless bickering on social media. This ancient assessment feels uncomfortably relevant, doesn't it? To really grasp what the text is saying, we need to understand the framework it uses. The text calls our current era Kali Yuga, which translates roughly to the Iron Age or the Age of Quarrel. The commentary explains that the sages foresaw this specific age as being characterized by a general public that is deeply disturbed and plagued by shortened lifespans. So that's our foundational setting for everything we're going to explore.
Part 1. The Diagnosis. Symptoms of the Iron Age.
The original verse outlines 5 core symptoms of the general public in Kali Yuga. It claims we are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and always disturbed. But the commentary takes this a step further. It explains that this laziness isn't just about sleeping in on a Sunday. It's a specific laziness regarding self-improvement and self-realization. People are misguided by bad systems of education, and that culminates in a population that is completely devoid of inner peace. And that perfectly illustrates the text's view on our physical vitality. Why are lifespans shortened in this Iron Age? The ancient analysis observes that it's not a lack of food, but our irregular habits. Think about the modern traps we fall into: overeating, artificial standards of living, and letting our senses completely run wild. Basically, our modern culture of endless takeout and binge watching. In stark contrast to that, the text proposes a simple baseline. Keeping regular habits and eating simple food is the true secret to maintaining physical vitality.
Part 2. The Trap of Distraction, the Agitation of the Modern Mind.
Now, the text introduces a concept absolutely central to our anxiety. They call them sense gratificatory diversions. What does that mean in modern terms? Well, it's the constant chase for the next dopamine hit. This ancient analysis observes that in this age, we are victims of countless diversions. It's this constant pulling of our senses toward external stimuli that the sages argue is the absolute root cause of our inner disturbance. What is truly fascinating is how specific the text gets. It's like an ancient mirror reflecting our current society. The commentary actually lists overwhelming diversions: cinemas, sports, gambling, clubs, mundane reading, smoking, drinking, and bickering. Now, these are the exact things so many of us turn to in order to unwind or escape, right? Yet, the text identifies them as the very bear traps keeping us agitated. The crucial point is summarized perfectly by this quote: "Because of all these diversions, their minds are always disturbed and full of anxieties due to so many different engagements." The text draws a direct, unavoidable correlation. Constant engagement with superficial distractions literally equals a constant state of anxiety. It is the ultimate ancient diagnosis for modern mental fatigue. Furthermore, the text points out that this vulnerability even extends into the realm of belief. It notes that unscrupulous individuals often manufacture their own religious faiths, ones that aren't based on revealed scriptures. According to the text, these manufactured institutions attract people who are already addicted to those sensory distractions we just talked about. And the result? Sinful acts are carried on in the name of religion, completely depriving the public of true peace of mind. Part 3. A surcharged global atmosphere, macro agitation, and societal collapse. The text argues that these individual flaws end up causing traditional social structures to entirely break down. The ancient analysis observes that the foundational stages of life are ignored. Student communities are no longer maintained.
householders ignore the rules of family life, and even those who enter renounced or spiritual orders easily deviate from their path. Underlying all of this broken structure is a general lack of desire for self-realization, which the sages directly blame on misguided education.
Ultimately, the text identifies a massive shift in human values. The whole atmosphere of the Kali Yuga, the sages observe, is surcharged with faithlessness. People are simply no longer interested in spiritual values. Instead, the ultimate metric for progress has completely shifted. Material sense gratification has become the sheer standard of civilization. And this shift in values has massive global consequences. The sages explicitly link this material standard of civilization to the very structure of our modern geopolitical world. To maintain this material wealth, man has formed complex nations and communities. The inevitable result of that? A constant strain of hot and cold wars between these different groups. Because our core values are materially focused, raising the global spiritual standard becomes incredibly difficult, resulting in endless conflict.
Part 4. The remedy, the path to self-realization.
So, amidst the laziness, the bad education, and the hot and cold wars, the text presents a single, vital remedy: self-realization. Human life, the commentary insists, is especially meant for this. It defines self-realization as the ultimate means to end the miseries of this hard struggle for material existence, allowing us to return to our eternal home. This is the crucial missing element the Iron Age has forgotten. But it's not just a vague, mystical concept. It's a specific, sequential process. To achieve self-realization, the commentary outlines 3 distinct milestones. 1. Know what you are. 2. Know what the world is. And 3. Know what the supreme truth is. It's a highly structured philosophical journey designed specifically to completely counteract the overwhelming distractions of the modern age. The crucial takeaway from this entire analysis by the sages is actually one of deep compassion. The commentary concludes by noting that having analyzed the deeply disturbed state of affairs in the Kali Yuga, the sages are anxious to disentangle all these fallen souls from the traps of the Iron Age. They aren't just diagnosing the disease, they're actively seeking a cure. Which brings us to our final thought. These ancient sages looked at a future filled with diversions, anxiety, and distorted values, and they prescribed a dedicated path to understand oneself, the world, and the truth. So, I leave you with this question to ponder. In our modern age of distraction, amidst all the noise, what is your path to self-realization? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.